I'm famous for being the reincarnation of bad luck. Even a dog passing by can trip over the bad luck around me. My best friend since childhood. He was tricked into going to Northern Myanmar to run scams.
Hurry, save me.
To save him, all by myself, I stormed into the scam compound. Basically, that's handing myself straight over to them. On my very first day there, the low-level boss assigned to guard me suddenly slipped on flat ground and shattered his bones. Day 2, the supervisor dragged me into the server room to learn how to run pig butchering scams. But the second my fingers touched the keyboard, the entire scam compound's network went down. The transformer blew up. Flames tore into the sky. Day 3, the boss of this scam compound didn't blame me at all. He even called me into his office, saying he had a few questions for me. But the moment he stepped closer to me, the ceiling fan suddenly fell from the ceiling and turned him into a eunuch. In just 3 days, the entire scam compound was thrown into total chaos. Everything started falling apart. 1 month later, the scam ringleader personally called the police hotline back home, crying hysterically.
Officer, please, we're begging you. Just take this walking disaster away. Take his buddy with him too. We're turning ourselves in.
Inside the office of the Northern Myanmar scam compound, the chief overseer, Cobra, gripped the phone receiver tightly, his face turning deathly pale.
Hello? Please don't hang up, officer. I'm serious. I really am a scammer. I want to turn myself in. In my hands are more than 200 victims. I'll hand them all over. I only have one request. Send a private jet here right now. No, send a rocket if you have to. Just come and take away that plague of a man named Fang. The faster, the better. We'll pay double whatever it costs.
A voice came from the other end of the line.
Sir, pretending to be a scammer and calling the police like this is illegal. And if you're going to make up a story, at least make it believable. A scammer begging to buy his victims plane tickets? You think we're idiots?
The line went dead busy tone. Damn it. Cobra grabbed the landline and smashed it onto the floor. Fragments of the phone shot into the power outlet. A flash of blue sparks burst out. Boom. The aquarium shattered. Several arowana fish flopped wildly on the floor. Cobra instantly leapt onto the leather couch, looking at the mess scattered across the floor. I calmly took a sip of tea and sat down in the chair across from him. I told you already, I've got a walking disaster kind of luck. Anyone who messes with me gets instant karma. But you just wouldn't believe me. You even insisted on calling the cops to turn yourselves in. And now look what happened. Even the cops think you're insulting their intelligence. Cobra suddenly snapped his head around, his eyes bloodshot.
For the past 3 days, I've wanted to drink ice water. Then, the ice machine exploded. I want to use the restroom, but the sewer flooded the cafeteria. I want to watch TV, but the satellite dish smashed through the finance office.
Cobra was so furious that he gritted his teeth. His hand moved to his waist, about to draw his gun. But he hesitated for a moment, then pulled his hand back. Then he took a deep breath.
Fine. You don't want to leave, huh? Then don't leave. Guards, throw him into the water dungeon. Throw him down to the deepest level. Down there, it's nothing but rotting mud and dead bodies. I don't believe you can still tear my compound apart down there. Keep him locked there until he dies.
The door was kicked open. Mad Dog, blind in one eye and leaning on a cane, burst in with several men.
Chief Steward, leave him to me. This punk broke my leg before he's sent to the water dungeon. I need to collect some interest first.
Mad Dog, don't do anything stupid. Take him away now.
Cobra tries to stop him. I sigh and set the teacup down. Mad Dog, if I were you, I wouldn't swing that whip.
Cut the damn crap. Today, I'm going to whip that smart mouth of yours to pieces.
Mad Dog swings his arm with force. The whip lashed toward my face. I don't dodge, just watch him helplessly. The tip of the whip hooks onto the crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling. The hook snaps. The chandelier crashed down. It slams straight into Mad Dog's head. Mad Dog doesn't even have time to scream. He's already buried under shattered glass and twisted metal. The 2 legs sticking out of the debris twitch twice, then go still. The entire office suddenly falls dead silent. The henchmen stand there frozen, their mouths hanging open. Cobra stands on the couch, his face pale as death. He points toward the door. Get him out of here. Get him out of here, now. That guy is a damn monster.
Don't touch him. Use the batons and keep your distance.
The entire room erupts into chaos. A group of people in protective suits use 2-meter-long poles to pin me down and shove me out of the office. Before leaving, I wave at Cobra. Don't forget to fix the fish tank. An electric leak can be very dangerous. Behind me, Cobra's furious roar immediately rings out, followed by a loud bang. The water dungeon is on the 3rd level underground. The iron door opens. A foul stench hits me in the face.
Get in there!
The guard pushes me into the pitch-black water pit with a pole, then quickly locks the door and runs off. The filthy water rises past my knees. I steady myself. A faint sound comes from the corner of the room.
Brother Fang!
The voice sounds familiar. I suddenly turn my head. By the corridor light, I can clearly make out the person curled up in the corner. It's Lindsay. Lindsay, once unstoppable, burning with life, now curled up in a filthy puddle. His body, battered and broken. His face, swollen beyond recognition. In his hand, still clutching half a moldy bun. The rage inside me erupts in an instant. My nose burning, I lunge forward, grabbing his shoulders. Lindsay clutches my hand, sobbing uncontrollably.
How could you be this stupid? Didn't I tell you to call the police? Who told you to come here on your own? You're going to die. You know that.
I called the police. They said a cross-border arrest takes time. I pat him on the back and say, I was worried you wouldn't be able to wait until then, so I came to see you first.
What's the point of coming here? This is no different from walking into certain death.
After saying that, Lindsay cries even harder. Don't be scared. I help him wipe the dirt off his face. I have superpowers you forgot. At my words, Lindsay freezes. Then he remembers every strange thing that's ever happened around me since we were kids. Back in middle school at an anniversary event, the teacher in charge of discipline told me to go on stage. And the second I opened my mouth, the whole stage came crashing down. Back in high school, I was going to hit an internet cafe and game all night. But I didn't even make it inside before the police sealed the shop.
But this time is different. They have guns.
Desperate, Lindsay pointed toward the guards outside the iron bars. Besides us, there were a few other people locked up in the water dungeon. A man with a broken leg named Kong. He was tricked into coming to the construction site to work. A bespectacled college student named Chen Feng. He was locked up for failing to meet his quota. They all stared at me with empty eyes. In their eyes, there wasn't even a glimmer of hope. Kong leaned against the wall. His voice was hoarse.
Newcomer, save your energy. Once you're in the water dungeon, you're just waiting to die. See those wires up there? If they're in a bad mood, one shock and will be turned into grilled fish.
I lifted my head and looked at the few wires swaying above, on the verge of falling, sighed deeply, then turned to Kong with a serious expression. Bro, don't be so pessimistic. From my past experience, if they really switch on the current, then the transformer will most likely explode first, or the person flipping the switch will get electrocuted first. Anyway, those who aim to harm me tend to die before me. Kong looked at me like he was looking at a madman. The moment I finished speaking, the iron gate above the water dungeon creaked open. A drunken guard staggered in, unzipping his pants, about to relieve himself on the floor below.
Drink my holy water, you pack of pe-
Kong and Chen Feng burned with anger, yet dared not say a word. They could only hang their heads in humiliation. Lindsay turned pale with fear. He scrambled desperately to hide behind me. I frowned slightly. I looked at that guard with obvious distaste. The next second, a blood-curdling scream tore through the night.
It's stuck! It's stuck!
The guard's hand trembled. The bottle struck his toes. His foot slipped out from under him. His whole body went down headfirst. Sploosh. He fell right beside a dangling wire. Water splashed up against it. Blue sparks crackled to life. The guard convulsed wildly in the water, his eyes rolling back. Fortunately, he fell into the water some distance away from us. By the time the current reached us, only a faint tingling sensation remained. Lindsay and I were completely unharmed. Meanwhile, that guard, within seconds, he foamed at the mouth and passed out cold, his entire face buried in the filthy water, bubbles bubbling up, gurgling. The water dungeon fell into dead silence. This left Kong gaping in shock, while Chen Feng adjusted his crooked glasses, his finger trembling as he pointed at me. This was your doing too.
I shrug and spread my hands, wearing an innocent expression. That was his fault, he wasn't careful. See, what goes around comes around. Isn't this his comeuppance?
The guard passed out in the water, though it brought a moment of relief. It also led to serious trouble. It wasn't long before the changing guards realized something wasn't right. He immediately pulled the alarm.
Prison break! Someone has escaped!
The piercing wail of the alarm echoed throughout the compound. The iron door was kicked open. Over a dozen beams of intense light poured in, making it impossible to keep their eyes open. This time, those who came weren't just henchmen. The crowd parted. A middle-aged man in traditional attire stepped in. Behind him came Cobra, followed by a group of armed mercenaries. This was the man behind it all, Boss Wei. Boss Wei glanced at the guard in the water, then at me, baring his teeth in a grin. His voice was hoarse.
A bit interesting. Get him out. Take the rest to the yard.
We were herded out to the yard. It was already midnight, yet the compound was brightly lit. Hundreds of pigs were forcibly woken up and herded into position around the yard, made to watch the execution. Wei sat in a grand armchair, idly toying with a gold desert eagle in his hand.
I'm the one who believes in fate the most, and the one who distrusts it the most. Heard, you're the reincarnation of bad luck. You've already gotten a few of my men killed.
I stood in the midst of the cold wind, shielding Lindsay behind me, staring straight into his eyes. Mr. Wei, some things are better believed than dismissed. Wei suddenly burst out laughing, then abruptly fell silent, his expression darkening.
Damn bad luck! In this land, I am the sky! I am fate!
He suddenly waved his hand in command. Two mercenaries rushed forward, grabbing Lindsay from behind me.
Let me go. Fang, help me.
Lindsay thrashed wildly. I was just about to rush forward, when two gun barrels were instantly pressed against my forehead. Wei grabbed Lindsay by the hair and yanked him over. A gun barrel pressed against his temple.
Zhang Feng, right?
Wei bared his teeth in a vicious grin, staring at me, his finger resting on the trigger.
Don't you bring bad luck to everyone around you? Come on, let's see you bring bad luck to someone else. Right now, I'll blow your friend's head off. Let's see what's faster, your bad luck or my bullet.
Lin Zhao's face was deathly pale, tears streaming down his face.
Fang, don't worry about me. Run.
At the sight of it, I immediately clenched my fists. Mr. Wei. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. Every debt has its debtor, every wrong its author. Even though I'm bad luck, I still play by the rules. If you're going to kill me, let him go.
You're in no position to bargain with me. Get on your knees.
He fired a shot into the air.
On your knees, or the next shot will blow his head off.
Don't Fang, you're a man. A man's knees are worth more than gold. Don't kneel to trash like him.
Immediately, a nearby mercenary slammed the butt of his gun into Lin Zhao's back. Lindsay spat out a mouthful of blood, then he collapsed to the ground. Lindsay, my chest felt like it was about to explode. I clenched my teeth, my knees bent. As long as I can keep Lindsay alive, what the hell is pride worth? I lifted my head, staring straight at Wei, my eyes cold as ice. I've already knelt, but, Mr. Wei, I really don't want to kneel. This kneeling of mine, you won't be able to take it. It'll take years off your life. My knees hit the ground hard. At that moment, it felt as if a shackle had just been removed.
Everyone, look! That bad luck bastard's on his knees!
Seeing me kneel, Wei burst out laughing immediately.
Karma! What the hell is that supposed to be? A walking bad luck charm? What a joke! In front of my gun, you'll end up crawling like a dog for me anyway.
At that, the mercenaries and thugs around him burst out laughing. Mr. Wei, if you want me to kneel, then this whole matter. I forced down the nausea rising in my chest, just as I was about to tell him to release Lindsay.
Who gave you permission to speak?
Wei's expression darkened in an instant. He raised his foot and drove it hard into my shoulder. Caught off guard, I was sent crashing to the ground. But I wasn't even back on my feet. He was already stomping on my face as he said,
You want to save him? Fine.
He stared down at me and continued,
When I made you kneel earlier, that was to apologize to my people. And now, you will have to kowtow before me. Do it like you mean it. Then I'll consider letting your friend suffer a little less.
Fang, don't listen to him. He's a monster. He's not going to let us live.
Lindsay was pinned down by two burly men, unable to move at all. I lay sprawled on the ground, staring at Lindsay not far away. His face was covered in blood, even though I knew he was lying. I didn't dare take that chance. Alright, I pushed myself up with both hands, slowly straightening my back, then drove my head down hard against the ground.
That wasn't loud enough. What? Didn't you eat?
Wei sneered as he picked at his ear, his gesture dripping with mockery. Thud, thud. A sharp pain shot through my forehead. Blood trickled down along my brow. My vision blurred into a wash of red.
Keep going! Don't you dare stop! You don't stop until I say so.
Wei burst out laughing and turned around.
What are you all just standing there for? Take out your phones and start recording. Send it to those ignorant pigs. Let them see this is the end you get for going against me.
I kept kowtowing over and over, like a machine, until I collapsed to the ground unconscious.
That's enough.
What a fucking buzzkill.
Wei suddenly drove a kick into my ribs. Crack. I heard the sound of bone splitting. The pain made me curl up instantly.
I'm getting bored of this.
Wei took the cigar and drew in a deep breath. Then he flicked the burning tip straight onto the back of my hand. The pain made my muscles twitch, but I didn't make a sound. I just stared at him, unblinking. That look made Wei deeply uncomfortable.
Fuck, that looks bad luck. I was originally planning to keep you around a little longer. Have some fun with you. But it seems like you really don't want to live anymore.
He waved his hand.
Ring the oil drum over. If this brat's really that stubborn, then burn the two of them alive. Turn them into living torches. Let everyone enjoy the warmth.
Lindsay closed his eyes in despair, as if he had accepted his fate. A few mercenaries lifted the gasoline drum with cold smiles. I struggled halfway up and let out a laugh. My voice came out hoarse. Wei, I just kowtowed 9 times. That's the ultimate number. You've already accepted this offering, so your debt with the King of Hell. It's about time it was settled. Wei was stunned for a moment, then suddenly erupted in anger.
You're at death's door and still acting all mysterious. Pour the fuel on him.
2 mercenaries hoisted the oil drum. Splash! Gasoline cascaded over me sharp, suffocating. It seeped into every cut, every bruise, igniting a raw, burning sting. At the same time, dozens of mercenaries raised their guns, just in case I tried anything.
End him!
With that, he flashed a vicious grin and flicked his lighter. At that split second, the corner of my lips curled slightly. The lighter in Wei's hand traced a parabola. It fell toward us, those soaked in gasoline. Boom! Flames shot into the sky. The heat wave didn't burn me. Instead, a massive shockwave hurled Lindsay and me away. I hit the mud hard. There was nothing but a ringing in my ears. I couldn't help coughing twice. After struggling to lift my head, all I saw was Wei and his men, blown in all directions. It turned out that, by some twist of bad luck, the lighter just happened to bounce into an abandoned generator leaking fuel. And right beside it sat a crate of their grenades.
Fang, are we dead?
Lindsay lay beside me, his eyes vacant. Not dead. Guess even the King of Hell thinks I'm bad luck. Afraid I'd blow up hell too, so he won't accept me. I fought through the pain, pulled Lindsay up and ran. While they were still dazed, I dragged him toward the woods deep inside the compound. Behind us came Wei's furious, gut-wrenching roar.
Take them alive. I'll chop them into pieces. Don't shoot. Watch it. You'll end up blowing your own men up. Kill them with your knives.
My heart sank. The old bastard had gotten smarter. But in this condition, I couldn't run fast.
Fang, go. Leave me behind. Only if you go alone can you escape.
Lindsay was crying, trying to pull his hand free from mine. Shut up. All I've had my whole life is bad luck. The only thing I've got left is my honor. If I leave you here, I'd get struck by lightning for that. The only way to lose them is through the minefield outside the compound. This way. I pointed at the sign marked with a skull.
That's a minefield. Going in there gets you blown to pieces.
Don't worry. By some twisted law of conservation, whenever I try to step on a mine, I miss. But the ones who are chasing me, that's a different story. I grabbed Lindsay, shut my eyes and charged into the minefield. Behind us, dozens of machete-wielding thugs came charging. They followed us straight into the minefield. Behind us, Wei roared.
150 grand to whoever catches them.
Big money always attracts the reckless. The thugs immediately charged in, their eyes blazing with excitement. Every step onto the soft earth sent my heart into my throat. 1 step, then 2, 3 steps, and I'm still safe. But then, behind me, deafening explosions went off at once. Blasts thundered, screams rising one after another, without end. The pursuers kept stepping on the mines, one after another. Wei stood at the edge of the minefield. His whole body froze, stunned and dazed.
That's weird. That's really damn weird.
His hand holding the knife shook violently. His eyes bulged, about to pop. I was speechless too. This cursed bad luck of mine. How could it sometimes be more useful than body armor? And just when I thought I was safe, click, my foot froze. A metallic clink came from beneath my foot. Lin Zhao's face went deathly pale.
Fang, you.
I looked down at my feet. Great. Looks like my luck is still consistent. The pursuers stepped on landmines. And me, in this entire minefield. I stepped right on it. The fuse of a leftover World War II bomb. All it takes is for me to lift my foot within a 50-meter radius. Nothing lives. Lin Zhao's legs went completely weak. He buckled, then sat down heavily on the ground. I remained in a one-legged stance like a crane, my face stiff with tension. Lindsay, go. If this thing goes off, our ashes will be mixed together. By then, your parents couldn't separate us even if they wanted to.
I'm not going. If we have to die, we'll die together.
Are you stupid? If you go, I might still have a shot. Stay here, and you're just dying with me. Just as we were going back and forth, that bastard Wei saw the bind I was in. With a vicious grin, he circled around from the side, closing in. He didn't dare enter the minefield, but had someone bring a long bamboo pole, with a sharp knife tied to the tip.
I ain't going over there. I'll play this my way.
Then he stood over 10 meters away, barking orders at his men.
Stab his leg. Remember, as long as you dare lift your foot, we're all going down together.
You're insane. You'll blow yourself up too.
That's how I like it. Rather than letting this bad luck bastard ruin me, I'd rather take you all down with me.
The bamboo pole thrust straight at me, but I didn't dare move, because the moment my foot shifts by just a millimeter, the fuse will pop out immediately. Thud, the sharp knife stabbed into my calf. A sharp pain surged through me. I trembled all over. My feet almost slipped.
Just bear with it, Fang.
Lindsay rushed forward, using his hand to grab the blade. Fresh blood flowed down his fingers.
Keep going. Stab it to death.
Seeing that scene, that bastard Wei laughed maniacally. But just as the second knife was about to strike, the sky suddenly darkened. A fierce wind swept up from the ground. The thunder rumbled, terrifyingly. I looked up at the sky. Within me, a strange sense of familiarity suddenly arose. God, have you finally come to take my life? Crack. A bolt of lightning tore through the clouds, striking precisely the bamboo pole in Wei's raised hand. The bamboo pole was wet. The blade was iron. And that bastard Wei was a perfect conductor of electricity. Wei didn't even have time to scream. His entire body suddenly burst into a blue glow, his hair standing on end. Black smoke spewed from his mouth. He collapsed stiffly to the ground, his whole body convulsing. The lingering force of the lightning strike shook the ground, and the bomb beneath my feet seemed to loosen slightly from the shock. I don't know where that strength came from. The instant the fuse sprang up, I lunged forward and shoved Lindsay into a shell crater. Boom. A massive fireball erupted into the air. My vision went black. Then everything faded. When I woke up again, I found myself strapped to a cold operating table.
You're awake.
A cold, chilling voice came from behind the mask. I turned my head and saw a man in a white lab coat. He held a scalpel in his hand, slowly wiping the blood from its blade. This is the most terrifying place in the compound, the medical unit, also known as the infamous organ harvesting assembly line. Where is Lindsay? My voice came out hoarse.
That kid, he's luckier than you. The boss says he's still useful. They're taking him to a truck, headed for the back mountain.
I let out a sigh of relief, but immediately after that, fear instantly engulfed my entire body. I suggest you don't try anything.
Beg all you want. It's useless anyway.
No, I'm doing this for your own good. If you bring that blade down, I'm afraid this operating room of yours won't survive. The doctor froze for a moment, then erupted in laughter.
Interesting. I'm a materialist, and the best surgeon here. My hands are as steady as a mountain. I don't believe that when I cut you open, a ghost will pop out and bite me.
After saying that, the surgical light above me suddenly fell, without any warning, precisely smashing into the doctor's back, making him scream in agony. I sighed deeply and said, I've told you, I'm giving you this advice for your own good.
You're a monster.
After the doctor said those words, his eyes rolled back, and he passed out instantly. By the time I crawled out of the operating room, the entire medical unit was already in complete chaos.
Fire! The oxygen tanks are blowing up. Run! That damn jinx is coming out here.
Looks like my reputation's already spread throughout the compound. I have to find Lindsay. That doctor said he'd been taken to a villa behind the mountain. That's where the man in charge lives, the general. Rumor has it that the general keeps a tiger. It specializes in eating people, leaving not even the bones behind. I dragged my injured leg and snatched a patrol golf cart. Several guards raised their guns to stop me. I immediately pushed the gas pedal harder.
Don't shoot, your gun could explode.
The guards all hesitated for a moment, and in that moment of hesitation, I charged straight through the checkpoint. Because of the tension, I turned the wheel too hard and lost control. The rear hit a fire hydrant hard. A high-pressure jet of water shot skyward, just in time, sending the rushing guards flying, scattered and sprawling in all directions. And just like that, I kept tearing forward like lightning, driving all the way to the villa behind the mountain. The entrance was heavily guarded. There was no way in. Just as despair set in, I saw that on the villa's second-floor balcony, Lindsay was being forced into a corner by a fat man in military uniform.
What's so good about following that way, guy? Pretty boy, follow me, this general, and you'll have everything you could ever want.
Get the hell away. Don't come any closer.
Lindsay was holding a vase while he spoke.
I like people with strong personalities like this.
Lindsay, I shouted from below, but I couldn't get in. In front of the gate were two heavy iron doors, along with two pit bulls chained up with iron chains. The moment they saw me, they barked wildly and charged at me. I was so desperate I was going crazy, I shouted. Out of the way, I roared at the two dogs. Suddenly, a strange scene unfolded. The moment they got close to me, the two dogs immediately rolled into a heap, their chains twisting tight around each other, until they choked themselves, their eyes rolling back. Thanks to that, the iron gate was knocked open, leaving a gap. I burst into the villa. In the ground floor hall, a massive Bengal tiger lay sprawled. The moment it saw someone break in, it rose lazily, its massive jaws gaping wide, and let out a thunderous roar. My legs went weak, nearly giving out. This thing doesn't play by the laws of cause and effect, does it? It's just a beast. The tiger kept closing in on me, step by step. I closed my eyes, thinking to myself this time, I was done for. Just as the tiger lunged at me, boom, a thunderous explosion rang out from outside the villa. It turned out to be the golf cart I had just driven. Due to the impact, the battery shorted out and exploded. The massive noise startled the tiger, causing the crystal chandelier weighing dozens of tons to come crashing down, pressing this king of beasts firmly underneath. The tiger howled and thrashed inside, but still couldn't get out. I just stood there, stunned. Has my bad luck taken over the animal kingdom too? I didn't have time to dwell on it, immediately charging up to the second floor, just in time to see that bastard of a general, about to pin Lindsay against the railing. Let him go, I roared. That bastard of a general immediately turned around, startled, his whole body giving a slight tremble.
How did you get up here? Where's my tiger?
Your kid just got itself trapped playing with the chandelier. Wanna try it too? At that, the general immediately flew into a rage.
Drop dead!
Boom. An explosion rang out. Instinctively, I closed my eyes. There was no pain, only a blood-curdling scream. I opened my eyes, only to see his hand, blood pouring out. The bullet jammed in the chamber and exploded, causing the gun's bolt to blast backward, then blasted out two of his front teeth, and sliced off half his ear while he was at it. He writhed in agony, rolling all over the floor, crashing into the railing, then tumbling off the second floor like a ball. Unfortunately, he landed right next to the tiger, which was trapped beneath the crystal chandelier downstairs, and the tiger, with all its pent-up fury and nowhere to vent it, immediately sank its teeth into his thigh in a single brutal bite.
Ah! Let go. I'm the general.
His screams echoed into the sky. Taking advantage of him being at the tiger's mercy, I immediately pulled Lindsay, who was still shaken, to his feet. Go to the rooftop.
Fang, are we gonna die?
Lindsay held onto my hand tightly. No. I looked toward the distant sky. The whir of rotors echoed from afar. Several camouflaged helicopters were closing in.
It's the police. It has to be the police.
Lindsay was so excited that he jumped to his feet, but deep down, a quiet sense of unease crept over me. If this were an international manhunt, the process wouldn't move this fast. At that moment, a helicopter hovered directly above the villa. A voice blasted through the loudspeaker, but it wasn't Chinese. It was an armed helicopter operated by a local armed faction.
Everyone below, listen up, surrender now, or you will be killed.
It turns out these are the reinforcements of that damn general. They intend to wipe us out, leave no one alive. A helicopter lowered a rope ladder. Several fully armed soldiers slid down the rope ladder.
Fang, what do we do now?
I stared at the dark gun barrels pointed at me. Then, I suddenly laughed. Lindsay, do you believe in fate? All my life, the thing I hate most is having a gun pointed at me. I took one thing out of my pocket, A vial of powerful anesthetic I'd grabbed from the medical unit earlier, still sealed, but I wasn't going to use it to attack. As the vial hit the ground and shattered, a violent gust of wind swept in from the valley. That eerie gust swept up the anesthetic on the ground, and the blankets drying on the rooftop. They whipped through the air, hurtling straight toward the hovering helicopter. In an instant, the massive sheets plastered themselves across the windshield.
Pull up now!
The pilot's visibility was completely obscured. The helicopter lurched violently. The tail slammed into a century-old tree. The rotor blades snapped apart. The helicopter lost control completely, then veered off, hurtling toward the nearby armory. Boom! A small mushroom cloud rose into the sky. A massive shockwave sent half the soldiers who had just slid down flying. The rest were still dangling from the rope ladder, then were sent hurtling straight into the flames with the helicopter's wreckage. The entire compound shook violently. The walls came crashing down. The real chaos had begun. I stood on the rooftop, arms spread wide, looking helpless. See, I warned you. Don't mess with me. The raging fire lit up half the sky in red. Chain explosions in the armory completely destroyed the compound's defense systems. Those henchmen and overseers, once arrogant, acting like no one else mattered, were now running even faster than rabbits.
Fang, look over there.
Lindsay pointed toward the distant gate. Armored police vehicles charged in, slamming through the burning gate. In that moment, the flashing blue and red lights were the most beautiful sight I had ever seen.
Don't move, police.
The authoritative bark drowned out the explosions. The tactical team quickly took control. Those scammers, ferocious just moments ago, now looked at the police like they'd seen their own fathers. One by one, they clutched their heads and cried,
Officer, arrest me quick! Arrest me! I'm guilty! I want to go to jail! Just get me out of this hellhole! That guy's a walking plague! He's terrifying! Absolutely terrifying!
They shoved forward, hands outstretched, begging to be cuffed. Some even started fighting over the handcuffs. I supported Lindsay, then limped out of the wreckage. A young officer froze when he saw me.
Fang.
It's me. I nodded weakly. The officer looked at the wreckage behind me. He swallowed hard and said,
This was all you.
If I said it was an accident, would you believe me? I gave a bitter smile. The officer said nothing. But the way he looked at me, there was fear and respect in his eyes. Lindsay and I were lifted onto stretchers. In the ambulance, he gripped my hand tightly, tears streaming endlessly down his face.
Fang, we made it out alive. We really survived.
Yeah. I stare up at the car roof and let out a long breath. At last, this nightmare is finally over. The ambulance starts up, slowly pulling away from the compound. Right when I thought everything was over, Lindsay suddenly stopped crying. He let go of my hand, pulled a wet wipe from his pocket, slowly wiped the dirt and tear streaks from his face.
Fang.
Lin Zhao's voice grew very soft.
Do you know, I actually called you here, not to save me.
My heart skipped a beat. I turned to look at him. At this moment, Lin Zhao's gaze became utterly cold. So why is that? The corner of Lin Zhao's lips curled up slightly.
Because that idiot Wei Yan just hogging the spot and doing nothing. I've wanted to take over this compound for a long time, but I was still missing something to set it off. Something that could burn this place to the ground. Something that would let me reshuffle everything.
He looked at me and continued,
And you are the perfect fire to set it off.
I stared at Lindsay, a chill running through me. You're the one running this place. My voice was shaking.
You could say that.
Lindsay gently tittied his disheveled hair and continued,
I originally planned for you to take out Wei Yan. Then I'd step in and clean up the mess. But I didn't expect your bad luck to be this terrifying. It directly wiped out my entire base.
He let out a soft sigh, a hint of regret in his voice.
But none of that matters anymore. Wei Yan dead. It's over. Every piece of evidence here has already been reduced to ashes in that fire. I'm the victim, and you're the hero. When I get back, I'll be a completely innocent survivor. With that clean money, I'll rebuild everything from scratch. And you?
Lindsay suddenly leaned in close to me. Before I knew it, a syringe had already appeared in his hand.
You know too much. It'd be best if you died in the ambulance, from your injuries. A perfect ending, right?
The tip of the needle hovered just centimeters from my neck. I didn't flinch, just quietly watching him. In my eyes, there was nothing but grief. Lindsay, you've planned everything, but you still forgot one thing.
What?
Lin Zhao's movement faltered. You forgot one thing. My cursed luck has a trigger mechanism. It only has its strongest effect on those with ill intent. Back then, you were like a brother to me. So no matter how bad my luck got, it never touched you. But now, I looked at him, pity in my eyes. You've developed an intent to kill me. So now, you've stepped into the cycle too.
Don't try that superstitious nonsense on me.
He immediately drove the needle into my neck. But in that very instant, the ambulance hit a deep pothole in the road, and the whole vehicle lurched violently. Bang! Lindsay lost his balance, tumbling forward. Driven by inertia, the syringe in his hand plunged into his own inner thigh instead. The entire syringe was packed with deadly poison, driven in immediately. Lindsay let out a shrill scream. In panic, he yanked the syringe out, his face instantly turning deathly pale.
Help, help.
He risked his life and grabbed onto my clothes. Fear filled his eyes. The poison kicked in almost instantly. In less than 10 seconds, he started foaming at the mouth. I leaned back against the pillow, staring at him helplessly. I told you, anyone who wants to harm me dies first. Lindsay went wide-eyed. He stared at me, unblinking. Then, his last breath slipped away. His body went rigid. Right up until his death, he never understood why he had planned everything so meticulously, yet still lost to a single pothole. 3 months later, I sat in the police station, giving my statement. The officer taking my statement looked at the report, his face full of disbelief.
So the entire leadership of the criminal organization was wiped out. Wei Yan died of electrocution. The doctor was crushed by a surgical lamp. The general was mauled to death by a tiger. The mastermind, Lin, died from a poison injection. And you walked away completely unharmed.
I nodded. Officer, I've already told you. I have a bad luck constitution. The officer closed his notebook. He looked at me with a conflicted expression.
Mr. Jiang, a special unit from higher up, wants to see you.
What department?
The National Bureau for Anomalous Phenomena and Causality Defense. With an ability like yours, if put to use against crime, that would truly be a national strategically well weapon. So from now on, you won't have to worry about finding a job.
I walked out of the police station, the sun shining brightly. A stray dog passed by me. It was just about to bark at me, when it suddenly slipped, and went sprawling onto its back, legs up in the air. I looked at it and let out a soft chuckle. Looks like my legendary life is only just beginning. As long as I keep righteousness in my heart, then this bad luck will be the sharpest blade in the world.